Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Three Dumb Dads.
What is going on? We are back. The Three Dumb Dads are back. Today is Thursday, April 14th. We told you we were going to be back at the end of last month, but hashtag dad things. Dad things happen. Dad things happen, and that's why we almost, had to push back even a couple minutes tonight, because somebody had to go get a tractor. My watch is just going to randomly talk to me. I had to put together a toy real quick and got a little behind on things. So how are you guys?
Good.
Finally got like a breather.
You mean from the
funny.
podcast? Like, I mean, you just don't like doing it anymore? No, I'm kidding.
No,
I know
this is the breather.
This is the breather.
True.
Yeah,
It's
this is the
funny.
breather.
I was thinking like today, I think I texted you guys or maybe it was yesterday. I was like, podcast tomorrow. Like, I just need this is downtime to just kind of chill and talk about anything and everything that's going on in the world. I feel like it's been so long since we got together. I mean, even though it's only been 3 weeks. It's been a lot. There's been a lot of stuff happening, not only personally in our lives, but in the world and sports. I mean, you know how we are with sports and stuff. So, doing good though.
It's been a little crazy. I'm still exhausted. We got back last night. We landed in DC at Reagan National at 10:30, but till we got bags and got out to the car and everything, I got home about 1:15. My daughter, while she keeps saying she's not tired, she is tired. She took another nap. She also said she didn't fall asleep on the plane, nor did she fall asleep in the car. She slept for about 2 hours on each of those. So you can tell how much fun we had. In case you don't know what we're talking about, I went to Disney for the last week. Loads of fun. My daughter's 5th birthday was at Magic Kingdom, but she had that little pin, and I swear the amount of, if you're going around somebody's birthday, make sure you go to whatever desk and get the little "I'm celebrating my birthday" pin, especially if there's somebody on the younger side, because I think my kid got about 4 extra cupcakes just because of that.
Funny.
Now I need to go to Disney and get myself a pin, because who doesn't like cupcakes?
Well, yeah, but you're not small and cute and turning 5.
Just don't get cupcakes.
I'm not small.
What if
I'm
you
not turning 5?
What if you identify
The
as
cute
5?
factor.
Or you could identify as 5.
You could identify as whatever the hell you want these days.
You can identify as a coconut if you'd like.
So what's really funny is going into this whole trip, everybody was talking about, the fact that Disney came out and said they're no longer going to be saying prince and princess to the kids.
Really?
Oh yeah. That's the whole woke Disney thing, and everybody's up in arms about, I'm never going there again and cancel my Disney Plus. And I think there's probably some other stuff too, but literally the entire time, I want to say 98% of the people working there called her princess and happy birthday princess and everything else. So just because the corporate side comes out and says something, it's a completely different experience when you're there. Disney is Disney. Yeah. It's not changing.
Oh, that's good. That's your dog. Your dog's looking at ghosts in the background.
Whatever.
That's crazy that such a big worldwide company, I mean, it's built on Disney princesses.
So where do you think the majority of their money comes from?
Right.
That's a completely different topic. That's a completely different topic. We could spend an entire hour talking about that.
Yeah.
And I really don't want to go down that path. So with that, why don't we jump over to talking about something that ended what feels like forever ago, but it really wasn't that long ago, our March Madness tournament. I know Seth has the final standing sitting right here. Ebby's children finished the best, and only one person in the entire bracket picked out the actual champion, who was Gemma. Congratulations to probably the youngest person who did a bracket. You win.
Yep.
Nothing but bragging
So-
rights, but you win.
Aside from us and the kids, do you guys know most of these people in here?
So it's a me, Mario is our friend Joe.
Okay.
My dad and I tied, so Goody 52 would be my dad. Let's do that basketball. Not really sure.
I feel like that was Rob.
Rob was number 15, the rock star who did not submit his bracket properly.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forget.
Spokely,
Somebody told me that was them, but I don't remember who it was.
Spokely is a guy we used to play softball with. Greg Webster is my neighbor, fellow Michigan fan.
Oh,
fellow
that guy.
diehard Michigan
Go
fan.
Blue.
And then Olivia is my stepdaughter. And funny story about that, I might have already said this too. I just read the team names to her, and she picked the team name that she liked. And I'm fairly confident she had Chattanooga, Tennessee, going to the national championship, which was why you can see her score was so low. So yeah,
That's
good times there.
kind of impressive, actually.
So the reason why I asked if we knew these people, because how many episodes ago when Olivia was on and we did Are You Smarter Than Fifth
Fifth
Grader?
grader. Mhm.
Okay, well, we all just got beat by a 6-year-old.
Yep.
In this bracket. And not just beat.
Oh, she put the smack
Did.
down. She put the smack down.
I mean,
Next
she
year
literally
when I
almost doubled all of our scores.
Yeah. Like the next year when I do my money one, I'm just letting her pick for me.
I think that's a great idea.
Hey,
Because listen, I don't think that there's anything that you can do, no matter how much strategy you have, no matter how much you think you know these teams. It's why it's called March Madness. It's so hard to pick. Any team can show up on any given night and beat somebody. I think you have a better chance of winning Powerball than you do picking, a really solid bracket.
Oh, yeah. She rode Kansas all the way because as we're going through it and picking the teams, like, whoever they were playing, it was like, all right, Kansas against, I don't even know who they played like in the second round.
Yeah.
Let's just say Robert Morris. And she said, I'm going with Kansas because it sounds like Mummy, Candace. I said, if that's your strategy, girl, do it. And it worked. Oh, they played Clayton. Robert Morris. I was close.
So, have you guys ever heard of the March Mammal Madness?
No.
So apparently,
Like with animals?
yes. So apparently, every year, Arizona State does what they call March Mammal Madness. I am apparently much better at that than I am at picking basketball teams. So I was taking this is just a little side story. I was taking Isabella to speech out at Lebanon Valley where my wife works, and she handed me this paper, and it was like basically pick this animal versus this animal, which one's gonna win, and like some of them were kind of blatantly obvious, like who would win in a fight between a lion and a parrot or something. But what they did is they rated everybody on like a bunch of different traits, and they would have a certain percentage chance of winning, and they would roll a 64-sided die, and if one of the three numbers that popped up for the parrot against the lion won, they would move on in the bracket. I won that one. I got the highest of any of the people out at her school. So apparently I can pick animals better than I can pick basketball teams.
Well, there you go.
I mean, it was a crazy tournament. I mean, just look at how it ended up. I mean,
it was wild.
I think it was after the first 2 days, I was watching ESPN, and they said that there was like less than 1% of perfect brackets left
Yeah.
out of the millions that were submitted.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I mean, I think, just St. Peter's alone was a phenomenal run. I mean, the fact that they made it to the Elite Eight was just out of this world.
Well, and if I was just gonna say, if they didn't run into such a strong and streaking North Carolina team, they probably go to the Final Four in a year where anybody else isn't playing the way North Carolina was, because obviously they were playing out of their minds.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yep. And not to take anything away from St. Peter's coach, but how crazy is that? You make one deep run, and now he's the head coach at Seton Hall.
Yep.
Like, you go to a bigger program. I don't want to say big time program, but
yeah. Well, at least his new school's gym roof won't be leaking and causing delays.
True.
That's true.
I would say his budget probably just increased a bit.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
All right. Good. It's called madness for a reason.
So congratulations, Gemma. Way to kick all of our asses or butts or whatever you want to. I mean, you're not listening, so I can say whatever the fuck I want. Great job.
I'm going to show her this tomorrow.
Fantastic.
Please don't. If you do, don't let your wife see.
That's funny.
It's funny because, like, when we're at any sort of, we'll say, practice or anywhere where there's adults, and it just like slips, I mean, just adults being adults, and it's like, oh, what the fuck, or shit. And then they always go, oh, I'm sorry, and like look at the kids, and 9 times out of 10, both kids always say, it's fine. My mom says way worse.
That's great. That is great. All right, guys, what do we got next?
So I think that the next thing we were talking about was kind of some dad moments. Obviously, I kind of already talked about Disney a bit. Ebby, I believe you guys had a dance competition that kind of took you away from stuff lately.
We've had 2 since the last time we met.
Jeez. So I guess the first question is how did they go?
They went well. I mean, their dance company is amazing. They are, not to sound cliche, but always competing, and they're always placing, which is amazing. So getting into the dance world is definitely a world that I was not expecting. And I feel like we've all been there, whether it be dance, figure skating, gymnastics, they're all relatively the same in a sense of competitions, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm glad the dance studio that we're at, that Aaron teaches at, is there's no competition team. Like, we don't have that side. So as of now, the only competition my kid's doing is in school. So thank God I don't have time.
Yeah, but see, I kind of thought that at first too. Like, oh man, like competition dance is going to be, who knows what it's going to be. But I've embraced it. I've embraced every side that I can. Like, being there for the whole prop dad thing, love it. Absolutely love it. Like, being backstage, and I'll tell you, because last year at a recital, it was like her first big recital. Like, the first one she did, she was 3, so she did like a 2-minute dance, and that was it. Last year was the first one where she was doing more, and they did her production number that she was a part of. So I'm backstage talking with this one dad, and he's saying, how old's your daughter? Which one is she? So I say, oh, she's 5. She's right there. His daughter's a junior, I think. Or no, so she was a sophomore last year. She's a junior this year. And he's like, oh man, you're just getting started in this. Like, just wait. But he said something to me that really kind of like translated like in a really good way to me. He was like, I coach my sons in hockey, so I'm with them at practice, all the time in games. It's a different animal than what we're used to. Like, we're not dance teachers.
Right.
If they come home, yeah, we might be able to help them as much as we can, but we can't really run them through their routine. Being backstage, he told me, he said, you being back here and your daughter seeing this, he said, it has as much impact on her as it does like coaching your son. And like that really like resonated with me. And I'm like, wow, like something as small as carrying a wooden box out onto the stage and like her seeing it could really like mean that much to her. And I think that's where I really took a liking to being back there and helping her as much as I can in that sense. You know what I mean?
I think that's a big point, like just in general, like, I mean, especially if your daughter doesn't, like, especially from a girl dad perspective, if your daughter doesn't play like softball or basketball or, a sport that you can really, I don't want to say coach, but like get into.
Yeah.
They kind of miss out on that. You think of mom doing the makeup and the hair and helping them get dressed into the 1,000 different costumes, and like dads are kind of just left on the side. So the fact that you're able to find something and do it, I think that means a lot. And I think it means a lot just showing up to stuff, just being there in the audience or wherever the case is. I think that makes a huge impact because it's showing the effort. It's showing that you want to see them succeed, however it is and whatever it is that they're doing. And
yep.
I mean, it's the same way with us, with figure skating and gymnastics. There's not really much I can do from gymnastics perspective at the competitive level that my daughter's at, because I don't even know how she does half the shit she does.
Literally, like the girl can trip over the ground just walking, but you put a balance beam or anything else in front of her and she's doing loop-de-loos and flip-de-flips and whatever the heck else they are.
Yeah, it's unreal. And I mean, the same thing with figure skate. Figure skate is the same way. Like, like my wife does a bunch of like the choreography for like they call it showcase, so like the more artistic stuff. But like, there's nothing for me to do other than, if she needs a prop for a showcase thing, I either build it or help out assembling it in some way, and that's pretty much it. But I think just being there, but the fact that you're able to be backstage and kind of embracing that role is super meaningful, and you should be proud of that. You really should. It's awesome.
I give the credit to Candace on this because last year at the recital, they did what was called like block scheduling. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, where it was basically they had one recital over 5 days. So they just broke it down. It was like X amount of numbers this day, X amount of numbers this day. Maybe all duets were this day, so on and so forth. So with it being like over 5 days, we kind of picked and choose which night we were going to. She had to be there every night because she was in production and they performed that every night.
All right.
The one night Candace came home and said, I volunteered you to help out backstage. And, your first thought was like, oh, okay. But I'm telling you, it was like being back there for the first time and then having that conversation with that other dad. It was just, it changed my whole perception.
Oh yeah.
Perspective.
Perception.
Well,
same thing.
I mean, for us, for us, I've been able. I mean, Seth knows I've done most of the music for our whole studio. I want to say out of there's 10 teachers, I probably do 7 of them. I do the music for 7 of them, but then I also do like security. Seth's helped me with security, back when his kids were at the studio, and like I know that Isabella knows that I do all of that, and like she knows like I'm part of the studio, so like I know, like, even though I'm not necessarily always there, that's like one part that like I know she's happy about. but she now has a gymnastics like recital thing coming up in May, and she's like, I really want you to be there, Dad. I want you to see me do it. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to figure out how to be there because it's on a Saturday when I'm supposed to be at work, but we're going to make it happen. So it's just, making sure.
Yeah. Wild.
It is
Wild,
wild,
man.
especially that all three of us can kind of relate in the same way.
100%.
It's
100%.
crazy. Because you look at it at like a surface level, but then once you get into it, it's like,
yeah, there's stuff out
completely
there.
different.
Listen, all these organizations and all these sports and stuff that these kids are doing, there's all these types of things that you can do. Whether if it's dance, you can help with props, backstage stuff. There's a lot of backstage stuff you probably can help with, but there's tons of stuff that you can help with. When it comes to figure skating, I'm helping cut music and help with whatever it is that there can be. Gymnastics, I'm kind of screwed because there's really nothing for me to do. But just being there, I think just being there is enough. Being there and being positive and supportive is all the kids need. I mean, honestly, you think back to like when you were a kid, it mattered if your parents were there at your game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You don't need to run the show, but if you help out, it means a lot.
Yep.
And that's the kind of shit you remember. It really is. Oh, my dad was there. Or, oh, my dad wasn't there. They remember when you weren't there.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
And I mean, it's tough whenever you have multiple kids. You're going from here to there and everywhere, and you do have to divide and conquer, and it's just kind of the way that things are.
They understand that. They understand when it's I have to be here because somebody else is there and we have this going on or that going on, and it's just a matter of making sure that, like, because of the way my schedule is, I have a really stupid schedule, but we make sure that Thursdays, because I'm off, Isabella and I typically do a lot of stuff together. On Sundays, we typically do a lot of family stuff together. She knows that Saturdays are really hard. I have to work. That's just the way life is. But for the last week, we made sure that basically we spent almost the entire week together, and she was, all about Daddy the entire time because she knew that was the time that we had. And she looked at me and she goes, I know you have to work, but I'm glad we had this time. And I'm like, okay, stop crushing me. But it's one of those things. I mean, Seth, at your age, how cool is it when your dad came by our game last year?
Oh, it was awesome.
It doesn't matter how old. I was going to say, it doesn't matter how it was cool. It was cool for me to have your dad there. Like, it's one of those things where it doesn't matter how old you are. It's always something that you're going to want that recognition. And now, I mean, not only from, the dad, but also from your kid. I love that my kid loves coming to baseball. She's excited for baseball in 2 Sundays.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
Yep. Good stuff.
Good times.
Deep.
All right.
We're getting deep.
What do we got next? I think what we need to talk about, lighten this up and moving to sports a little bit, is your guys' thoughts on the decision yesterday to pull Clayton Kershaw after 7 innings of a perfect game.
So, and I know Seth and I talked about this very, very, very briefly yesterday, but I'm now going back and forth because, and the baseball purist in me is just going, what the fuck? Like, there's no other word. Just what, you don't pull him out. You let him pitch. I thought the same thing the other day when I was watching the Phillies game on my phone. The guy's in the middle of the 5th inning, maybe I think he has 2 outs in the 5th, gives up a solo home run. And now they're up, I think, or they're up 2-1, down 1-0, something like that. Like, you were going to need to score more runs anyway. The guy's thrown 60 pitches, thrown 47 strikes, gives up a solo home run. Why are you taking him out? I don't understand the pitch count. I don't understand I understand that everything goes back to the computer and the algorithm and everything else, but I don't understand.
So the only thing that I will say in regards to the pitch count thing is that most of the pitchers did not have, actually not most of all the pitchers did not have a normal spring training. So they didn't get the same number of starts that they would have had there been no issues with the CBA, and the lockout wouldn't have happened, and everything would have started on time. So that's the gist of why you're not seeing starting pitchers specifically, going very deep into games, and especially even if they are 6 or 7 innings in, once they hit a certain pitch count, they're getting shut down. My problem comes into the fact that we're not talking about a no-hitter. We're talking about a perfect game.
Mm-hmm.
No base runners, threw the lineup perfectly through 7 innings. You faced the bare minimum of 21 batters through 7 innings. In MLB history, there have been 314 no-hitters. There have been 23 perfect games. 23 in history.
Mm-hmm. Was the last one Halladay? No.
No,
I think no. There was one
wasn't.
after Halladay, but Halladay's was Halladay's the first one in the playoffs.
Halladay threw a no-hitter in the playoffs. He didn't throw a perfect game. He threw a no-hitter in the playoffs.
Felix
I
Hernandez.
thought he threw a perfect game in the playoffs.
No, it was a no-hitter.
Okay.
Or no, he did throw a perfect game. I'm sorry. It was not in the playoffs, though. It was during the regular season. The last 2012 was the last perfect game, almost 10 years ago.
Insane.
Which 3 happened in that year, all within April, June, and August. So that's what.
Yeah,
4-month span.
Phil Humber, Matt Cain, and Felix Hernandez. And we haven't seen one since. Now you have a guy that's 6 outs away. And so here's another one. You ready for this? The next closest perfect game was 4 years ago. Rich Hill. He was pulled by the same coach after 7 innings.
It just
Who, Roberts?
Yes.
Again, I understand he's coming off of injury. Like, there's 1,000 reasons that you can do it.
He could have got hurt walking into the fucking dugout.
Exactly. Like you just can't take him out there.
Nope. Not happening. Sorry, not happening. But I mean, we're in a different world. We're in a different world in that, pitchers used to pitch 10, 11, 12 innings if they went into extras in a game. I mean, granted, they weren't throwing 100 miles an hour and throwing 6 different pitches, but, it's a different world. Traveling, injuries, whatever the injuries are. I get it from a certain standpoint, but at the same time, I don't get it. Like, yeah, Kershaw already had a no-hitter. And if it was just a no-hitter, I'm fine with it. But we're talking about a perfect game. Like, I think those things completely change everything.
It's weird. I mean, so he came out and said that he agreed with the decision, but what are you going to do?
He has to say that.
He can't say anything else. That'd be stupid.
He could. He's only there for 1 year.
Well, yeah, and then he becomes marked as a non-team guy and everything else, and that hurts his capital.
I don't know.
I mean,
look at AJ Burnett. AJ Burnett would have not given up the ball.
Oh, Kurt Schilling, Nolan Ryan, Randy Johnson, any of the Phillies pitchers from that year where they had the 5 aces, it wasn't going to happen.
No,
you have to pull the ball out of their hand.
That's what I mean. Not only would they not be taken out of the game, but they wouldn't give up the ball.
So there was an article written, now this is probably 10 years ago, okay? At the very beginning of every major league game, an average pitcher facing a lineup of average hitters has a 0.000983% chance of pitching a perfect game.
Jeez.
I don't know. I just don't.
Just
I
look
just
at-
I just don't see how you pull a guy.
I mean, even just think of it, not even from that perspective. Like, let's just say there's been 162 games since the beginning of baseball, which there hasn't been, but let's just say it.
Yeah.
162 games since what, like 18?
There's been roughly 218,400 games.
Yeah. And
And
it's happened
23
times.
I mean, you can't even you can't even compute the fact on a calculator.
No, it's.
I mean, it's crazy. It sucks for Kershaw, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and
It is what it is.
And it's one of those things that now, a year from now, 6 months from now, hell, 6 weeks from now, no one's talking about it. It's completely forgotten. But it's one of those things that it should be something on Kershaw's, portfolio.
Oh yeah.
I mean, listen, there's a chance that he goes out in the 8th inning and gives up a hit.
Of course.
Right?
But we don't
But
know.
you never know.
Well, we don't know.
But you never know.
It's baseball.
Now we don't have the opportunity to know.
It's
So-
baseball.
Yeah, who are the Moneyball guys, like, that we can't see, that are just computing everything, like you said, through the algorithm, and they're like, nope, pull them.
Yeah, that to me just makes zero sense.
I mean, I think honestly, in that perspective, like you can't even look at analytics, right? Because if you're looking at it from, all right, we're going into the 8th inning, right? And batter number 7 in the order, or batter number 4 in the order is up. What's the percentage of him reaching base in the 8th inning at his third at bat? Well, he's probably never had a third at bat in that position in his life because he hasn't played in a game that there was a perfect game thrown. So if they look at it from this is his third at bat, what is the percentages of him getting on? You can't look at it because it's a completely different game, right? I think there's limitations on the amount of analytics you can actually throw at something like this, and I don't know.
It's the one thing. It's the one thing that I've said about coaching baseball being different than just about coaching anything else. Coaching basketball, even coaching hockey, like you might get a feeling about something, but it's mostly plays. It's mostly, major decisions. Baseball, you can't just look at the analytics. You have to have a gut feeling. If you don't go with your gut, that's how baseball works. I look at Seth on Sunday and go, hey, lay down a bunt right here because I don't want you to pop up because hey, I just had a feeling the wind was going to change. Whatever that was, I want a bunt instead of you trying to hit and run or whatever it is.
Just speaking from all right, so I catch a lot, right, in baseball. I think it's the same approach. I know a lot of analytics go into, the catchers and pitch selections and stuff nowadays, but a lot of it does come down to gut. And, I'm constantly looking at, number one, what's the pitchers, like what pitches are working for him first and foremost? What do I know he can throw for a strike or something that's going to look like a strike? And then it's the batter that's up, right? How many times have I seen this batter? What have I seen this batter do? It's trying to process all of those things. And, I think at the majors, they have a lot more advantages because they have, hundreds of people looking at this rather than, just one person trying to do it on their own. But those are the small things I think that make you even a better player. And for whatever reason, my brain's able to remember certain things. And I think it makes me a better catcher. But, I don't know.
No,
it's analytics.
You're 100% right there because I was behind the dish for years, and as a catcher, you see instead of the step he normally takes, which is 2 inches in and closing his stance, now all of a sudden he's opening up. You see that it's a difference of 2-3 inches of where his foot's landing. Nobody up in the box is putting into the, okay, well, when he does this, it's going to do this, and then he does that. No, you see it, and now all of a sudden, you're going to throw an outside slider that's going to tail off the plate, and because he's stepping out, he's going to pull off, and the worst he's going to do is pop it up. It's those little things that you see as a catcher that change the game.
Yep.
It's not, well, on a 2-1 count, I need it to be this because he normally is going to pop it up about 63% of the time, and that's better than if we throw the slider because then he'll get a base hit 43% of the time. Like, it's stupid.
But you know what's crazy? Somebody's getting paid to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
A lot of money.
A lot of money to do it.
That's crazy. And it goes the same across like all sports too. You know, even in a sense, I mean, look at it with football. I mean, you could look at it
from
a lineman, like coming off a ball, but I mean,
we could talk about this for literally days.
So speaking of odd things in baseball and new versions of baseball and trying to reclaim the game of baseball as something fun and entertaining and something you want to go to every night because you never know what's going to happen. We've already talked about it before off the air, but the Savannah Bananas, one, amazing TikTok. Their players, if you follow any of their individual players from either team, from the Savannah Bananas or from what the heck is the other team? Party
Animals.
Party Animals. I was like Party Inc. Party Animals. They put together some amazing stuff. So Seth, I pulled that up for you so you know we can see what we're talking about. But one of the things that's very interesting about the way that Savannah Bananas play baseball is their special rules. And I think they have them on their site there somewhere. But basically the rules are baseball with a twist. So basically there's no walks. If you walk a player, if you throw the fourth ball, you now have to throw the ball around the entire field. Everybody has to touch it except for the pitcher, the catcher. And he can run as far as he wants. So if he gets a triple on your walk because you're slow, too bad. You want to dance on the infield and then make a pitch? Fine. There's no balks. It is very, very entertaining stuff. The players are told, you know, hey, go up into the stands, have fun with the crowd. The other fun thing is if the crowd catches the ball on a foul ball, same as we've all thought since we were probably 5, you're out. That's it.
Yep.
But I mean, you guys can see if you go to the video, if you're joining us live here, you can see some of the crazy stuff they do on these games. You know, guy batting on stilts. There's, you know, just absolute insanity. They talk as they do the walk-ups. There was a guy the other night that literally walked to the plate with his bat on fire.
On fire.
Yeah.
Like
it's honestly, so it's bizarre, but it's entertaining, right? And I think at the end of the day, like, it's just cool to see something new. I mean, I think it's cool that there's something like this, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with this at all. At all.
No. Well, no,
because it's making the youth level baseball is dying off.
Mm-hmm.
It's saturated with travel baseball.
Oh yeah.
And it's making the game entertaining again.
Yeah.
Well, I think the part that I like about the most about this is these are guys who are legit players. Like, they are college players. They are guys who are out playing independent league that they've finished college. Maybe they didn't make a minor league squad. Minor league teams may be looking at them to actually come and play. And on top of it, they're entertainers and they're having fun, and there's two different teams. There's a spring team, there's a summer team. I think they're literally about to transition here in maybe about 6 weeks between the two, and they do play in an actual league, and they play games that count and have scores. But when they play their banana ball, there's a winner of every inning, so you can have a walk-off in the second, and then you go out and play the third.
Yep.
It is the
awesome.
most insane but awesome game. I love seeing their. I will literally sit and just watch their TikToks for 20 minutes because
when they dance and the pitcher's dancing on the mound and like doing like the TikTok trends, and then the umpire does all his dancing and shit. It's funny as hell.
Well, and here's the part that I like. Because a lot of people are starting to compare them to like the Harlem Globetrotters. They're very similar to the Harlem Globetrotters. They have these travel teams that are going literally all over the place, and you can see every single game is sold out. They don't not sell out a game. Yeah. But it's the Harlem Globetrotters minus the like, oh, we're gonna blow out the Generals in the end and destroy them. No, there's an actual winner and loser of each game. They could lose. Mm-hmm. I doubt they probably do often because they probably put the slightly better players on that team, and they're always the home team, and they can walk off every inning. But yeah, it's real-ish baseball thrown in. So,
real-ish.
Well, I mean, like I said,
it's just funny how like when you think about it that way.
There's some modifications to the rules. But there's nothing major.
There's a guy on the Party Animals the other night who was standing behind the pitcher.
Oh, with the radar gun.
Clocking his speed during the game.
There's no rules. Do whatever you want.
It's crazy. Entertaining for sure.
All right. So we had a little fun. We got a little lighter. Now I think we're going to have even more fun. So again, make sure if you're catching us via podcast version, go check out the YouTube video for more of the fun stuff on the video side. Some of these games are a little better that way.
The first game is definitely going to be better visually. I mean, you can listen to it too. You don't really need to see it, but it helps for the other guys to be able to see these types of things. So I was watching another streamer the other day do this game. So everybody knows the game Weddle took over the world, and all these people were posting their Facebook and shit about how many times it took them to get the word. This game's called Weddle, and it's an NFL player guessing game. So out of the thousands of NFL players that there are, however many there are, you take a guess, and it gives you a bunch of stats. So like if you guess, let's just say Tom Brady is first. Tom Brady's in the NFC South. He plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's a quarterback. He's 6 foot whatever, weighs 210 pounds, whatever the case is. He wears number 12. It'll tell you whether you get the team right, the division right, the position right, the conference right, the height right. And so after each guess, you have to try to figure out, okay, which division are they talking about, or which team are they talking about, or do I need to look at a running back, or whatever the case is. And you have to try to deduce that to guess the NFL player within 8 guesses. All right. So you really got to think about it. Okay. But the way that I thought we could do this is we could all do this together, right? This is something we can kind of brainstorm and see if we can figure this out together.
Yep.
I like it.
And basically, you just, for the first guess, you just throw out a random player that you want me to put in, and that's what we'll select, and that's what we'll go with, and hopefully we get some things that we can use.
Now, hold on, 30 seconds time. Is it all current players?
Yes.
Okay.
Throw out a player.
I'm a wealth of random useless.
Let's go. Let's just start with TJ Watt.
I think it's only offensive players.
Oh.
Hang on. Let's look. After each guess, Kyle Teller. So green represents a match. Yellow represents correct. blah, 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 blah. The solution player will be a current fantasy player, so only wide receivers, running backs, QBs, and tight ends.
Okay.
We can do hard mode, and then it'll go defense, offense,
Let's
special
try
teams.
regular mode first.
I agree. All right, so give me an offensive player, non-alignment. Bueller.
Come on, Debbie.
I thought he was talking to you. Just go with Rogers. He's right there.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Sure.
We got nothing. Hannaford.
So hold on. So none of those are right.
Oh shit!
Whoa, what'd you do? Okay.
So like,
So
this guy is
okay.
he's
So it's
not
division.
a Packer.
So okay. So it's the correct. We got the incorrect conference.
So
we
it's not
need to
even
go
the
to
right
the
conference. So you got to go to the AFC. So then, and it's not a quarterback either. So
The solution will be, okay, guess the player. In the height, age, weight column, yellow represents that the correct number is within 2 inches, years, or numbers of the player.
okay. Oh, there's nothing about the quarter. Wait, was there something about the?
So the player is
Position?
taller than 6'4", less than 2 years of 38, and a higher number than 12.
in the
Taller than
AFC?
6'4".
I think that's what it means, right? Oh, if it's yellow, you're within 2 inches.
Yeah.
So it's taller than 6. Well, yeah, that would make
Dude.
sense.
Who's taller
they-
than 6'2"?
Yeah, but it would be yellow if we were within 2 inches,
So
6'4"? right? I don't know.
So let's go with a
Oh,
wide
that's-
receiver in the AFC.
It doesn't matter the division.
That's tall.
Who's a tall wide receiver for the Steelers?
Chase Claypool.
Okay.
Nobody.
I don't even know how tall he is, but
I don't
we'll
either,
just
but
guess
let's
him.
go that way.
Oh, he's 6'4". Okay, so we're talking like 6'5", 6'6".
And so he's in the AF.
He's in the
See, North?
AFC. He's in the AFC. If he was in the AFC North, this would be green.
Now, does it mean he's not a wide
Let's
receiver?
go.
He is not a wide receiver.
And his number is higher than 11 and 12.
So he's not a quarterback, or oh, that was stupid. So he's not a wide receiver or a quarterback. So he's got to be a
So he's
tight end.
6. Jeez, that's
Who's
big.
who's a big tight end?
Let's start going through.
Oh, what's
tight end.
Travis Kelce.
Yeah, that's literally where my
I
brain
don't think
went.
he's that. I don't think he's that.
I think
tall,
he's.
but
I think he's shorter than that. Nope. 6'5". He's a tight end. Lower number.
Lower than 87. So who's a tight
2
end?
conferences off.
So what do we got? We got the AFC.
South and East.
So the East is the Jets, the Patriots, the Dolphins,
Oh,
and who
Mike
else?
Gesicki.
Gesicki. Well, isn't? Oh yeah.
He's tall.
Okay, so it's the AFC East. Tight end, 6'5".
I didn't know.
Lower number. He's
So
older.
wait, who's number 85? 80. He's either 85 or 86.
So the AFC East. Tight
The
end.
85 I'm thinking of. It's Antonio Gates.
Okay, so he's not on Miami. So the East, who do we got? The Bills. Who's the Bills tight end?
I don't even know.
Am I allowed to like look up rosters?
I don't think so, but I mean, whatever.
In
This is just the first one, so I don't care. Go ahead.
the South, who's
It's the East, AFC East.
Dawson
oh,
Knox.
it is the East. For the Patriots. Hunter Henry?
Not Dolphin. Oh, that's a good guess.
There we go.
Look at Ebby.
Attaboy.
Told you.
Hunter Henry.
All right, I like this game.
So what's his
What number is he?
Yeah.
Scroll down.
He's number 85.
85. Okay.
Yeah, because once it had 87, we knew it had to be with it had to either be 86 or 85.
So this is hard mode.
Okay, so this could be offensive or defensive.
Or special teams.
So now we go TJ Watt.
We got to put the link for this site
You got his number.
in the bio.
Yeah, I'll put the link in there. So you got his number. That's pretty damn good.
So it's a number 90. He's a linebacker.
No. Yellow on hard mode. Yellow represents the correct side of the ball.
He's on defense.
Okay.
Okay, so he's on defense.
But he's not in the AFC. But he's not in the
lineman.
AFC. He has to be in the NFC.
He's a defensive lineman.
I was going to say Jadeveon Clowney. But why won't it pull him up?
Big clown.
I did.
Oh,
No options.
maybe he's not currently active.
How the hell do you spell his name? I'm probably spelling it wrong. No? I thought it was... I don't know. Okay, so not in the AFC North.
Who wears number 90?
Ow.
That's not helpful. It popped up Julius Peppers.
Number 90.
So-
and a defensive lineman.
So he's 26 or he's 25 or 26 years old. He's 6'5" or
He's taller than
6'6".
And he's a defensive player.
I don't know who else wears 90. That's the problem. And who wears 90 in the NFC?
Let's see if we can figure out the division. Does anybody know any?
Say, who's that guy for Washington? But he's 99.
Oh, Chase Young.
Chase Young, yeah.
Holy shit! It's Washington.
So it's whoever the defensive
Whoever's
end.
number 90 on
Kerrigan?
Washington.
Not
Is that his
Kerrigan,
name?
is it? Ryan Kerrigan?
He's on Philadelphia.
He's on Philly now?
Yes, they traded him.
So the defensive end
Who was the defense?
for Washington.
Chat, if you know it, let us know.
I don't know. I don't know anything about
The Commanders.
the NFC.
Is that their name now? The Commanders?
Yes, the Commanders.
I don't know enough Washington players.
I know.
Neither do I. This is really hard. Oh,
Oh,
I mean, it's not gonna.
picture him.
I mean, none of this other stuff's gonna help us.
No. Jeez. I can picture the guy.
Well, I guess the player that actually plays for the Commanders.
I'm
Oh
looking
my
it up, but
God.
I'm not going to guess.
I don't care.
Oh, okay. I looked it up. I cheated.
What's his name start with?
His last name is a bodily.
his first
His
name.
last name is a bodily function.
What? Oh, is it really him?
Yeah.
What? Bodily
Picture.
function? Shit.
No.
I was picturing a white guy.
Who is it?
He played for Mississippi State.
That doesn't fucking help me.
He
He's 6'6", 262. He's been in the league for 3 years.
yes.
And it's what every one of those players do, especially at the beginning of the season when it's not cold.
Yep. You do it when it's hot.
What?
Yep.
Montez?
Yep.
I didn't know he was number 9. I was picturing a white guy. Jeez. Kudos to me for not seeing race.
All right. Well, that was the game.
That's
I thought it
fun.
was fun.
That's hard.
It is like Wordle. You only get like
It
one
is
a
hard.
day. I'm sure if I went in and cleared my cache, it would probably let me do it again, but I'm not doing that. Anywho, so we're gonna move into our next game. You do not need to share your screen for this one, so you can go back to the bigger
Okay.
pictures.
Okay. I'm a little
Now I
scared.
want to know who I was picturing.
And now we're gonna get into some would you
Would you
rathers.
rathers? Okay.
This was
And
fun.
yeah,
These always get very interesting.
I think I'm only gonna do about half of them, and then we'll do the other half the next podcast.
There we go.
Because if I remember correctly, we're gonna do another one next week.
I think that's
Right.
what we
I
said.
thought that's what we said.
Okay, so we'll save half of them.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I saw this one on TikTok, so I have to ask, just because it's very fucking odd. Would you rather go to prison for a murder you did not commit, or eat Long John Silver's every weekday for the rest of your life?
I would eat Long John Silver's.
I was gonna say, as much as it would suck, I would eat Long John Silver's.
Hush puppies?
I would live off of Hush Puppies. That would be the only thing I'd eat from there.
I mean,
I can't eat fried fish like from a box in a freezer.
we
Maybe
don't have any Long Johns around here.
maybe if
The
we
one that was near us is gone.
it's now Popeyes.
It's now a Popeyes.
Hmm.
All right. Would you rather be half of your height or double your weight?
Half my height.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go half my height.
I'm going half my height as well. I mean, it'd be weird, but I can't imagine walking around as like
weird the
a
other way.
440-pound fat guy. Not 440 pounds, like 420.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about twice my weight.
Okay. All right. Would you rather have hair as teeth or teeth as hair?
Wait, hair
a
as
minute.
teeth or teeth as hair? I guess I'll go with teeth as hair because I could just shave my head.
Well, how would
The
you do
teeth are
that? Your
solid.
teeth are solid and like they're down to the root and shit.
Bunch
Like,
of
it
extra.
would be- could you imagine pulling your teeth out of your hair every day?
Well, I can't imagine
I
trying
mean,
to. I mean, think about how bad it is if you get a hair in your mouth now.
I mean, you can't really eat with hair.
Exactly.
you could have like smoothies.
Yeah, like you could drink shit. Walk around with teeth on your head. I don't know. This was ridiculous.
Would that
when I
mean
typed it.
would you have to brush your head then?
I think so.
Probably.
Like,
Well, would you
Like
really
with a
have to though?
toothbrush?
Because like you're not
I don't
you're
know.
not like putting like soda and shit in your head. I mean, maybe that's what you wash your hair with
With soda.
or teeth with.
I don't know. That's a,
Hey,
that's
move on.
Can you imagine rubbing your hand on someone's head and it just being teeth?
That's so gross.
that
We're
would be
looking
so
at
weird.
them talking to you and just hair.
Oh man,
Okay.
We're
we
going.
should just grow our
we're go-
mustaches like really long just to like kind of simulate it.
I can't do that. This is the most I get.
Would you rather always tell the truth or always lie? Always. Always. So like there's no
There's like
oh
a
this
yes man.
time. Yeah, exactly. Like liar liar. I can't lie.
I'm gonna say always lie, because you can vary the degree of lie. You can't vary the degree of truth. Because there's many times at work that I want to say something, but I can't because it'd be the wrong thing to say.
Yeah.
Yours would be really hard though.
Yeah.
Like I can just put myself on mute, right? You can't. You got people sitting right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
So like, oh, can I make this work? No, you're a fucking poor.
Yeah.
The things that pop right here that I can't say out loud.
I look at this.
I don't know.
I don't want to ever teach my kids that it's okay to lie, right? You don't want them to lie at all.
No.
We're dealing with that shit as it is. But like, think about it from the truth perspective, and like, your kid's like, "Oh, how does this make me look?" And you think it makes them look terrible, and you got to tell them.
Yeah.
You got to tell your wife too.
Well, yeah, that too.
Does this make me look fat?
But then there's even like, say like stuff with work. You know, where you want to take like a little longer lunch, and you're like, oh, I have a doctor's appointment.
That's what I'm saying. There's various degrees of always lying.
I don't know what the right answer is.
I don't think there is a right answer.
I mean, there's not, but I would tend to lean towards the lying side, because if I know that it's going to take me 10 minutes to get to South, I can tell them I'm going to get there in 9 or 11, and I'm still lying, but I'm close.
Would that mean you're always lying to yourself?
So like, how would that work though? So like, you say, oh, I'm coming over, right? And it's like, oh yeah, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Like, you have to be there in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right.
You can't put numbers or time or anything on anything.
No, like you'd have to avoid those situations at all costs.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I'm always lying, I can lie and be just 1 minute off, and I lied.
Right. I agree. I kind of agree with you. I think you have to lie. You can't always tell the truth. I mean, you literally have to say everything.
In a way, I feel like we could be going down a big rabbit hole, but in a way, even if you're lying all the time, you're still kind of telling the truth. If you're like, hey, I'm coming over, I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Well, yeah.
Still came over.
Yeah.
Just the timing was off. Like,
Right.
So I said varying degrees of false.
But it says always lie. So what do you say? I'm not coming over, and then you just show up?
Well, no.
Oh, that's a good point.
I'm coming over in 10 minutes. As long as I get there 9 or 11 minutes, I continue. My lie was fine.
But you said you were coming over.
In 10 minutes.
This is nuts.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we could go down the rabbit hole for this, because I'm looking at it from breaking it down. Like, you're looking at it from just strictly the time and it encompassing the entire thing. I'm looking at it from, well, you said that you were coming over, so are you really coming over?
Well, but I don't have to lie about every part of the sentence. I just have to lie.
Okay.
True.
I agree with that.
True. Okay.
All right. Would you rather live 100 years in the past or 100 years in the future?
So right now it would be 1922.
We'd be getting ready for the
crazy.
Going
First
right.
World-
Well, we're going right into the Great Depression.
right. World War I would just be ending, and we'd be going into the Great Depression.
So basically,
Or
the same thing as now, but without technology.
2122.
Right.
So really, it's do you want to go back and go through something you already knows what the outcome is, or just jump to the future where you have no idea what it could be?
So like, here's my stance. Healthcare sucks in 1922, right? But it's better than it was in 1822. And if I go back in time now as a 30-year-old, 34-year-old, I'm gonna get to see Babe Ruth play in his time, in his prime.
Ooh.
I'm going back 100 years.
Well, and not only that, can I take back the knowledge?
You going like Back to the Future style with like the almanac?
Yeah.
I mean,
But then you could ultimately change the course of history.
But if I'm there, I don't care because in my timeline, it no longer matters.
Yeah, but like you could do something crazy like
get Babe Ruth pregnant.
Delay Kennedy's plane.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like,
but think about this.
Hold on. Could I kill baby Hitler? Actually, at that point, he'd be like. At that point, he would probably be like he'd be like mid-20s or 30s.
Old. Yeah. He was already in his 30s at this point.
Okay, so at that point, it's fine.
I've always wanted to live through those days, not with like all the like the consequences of like the Great Depression and shit. I just thought like the 20s and like the 50s would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which now that we're talking about like going back and forth in time, did you see the whole thing about George Jetson?
Yes.
No.
George Jetson was 40 years old in 2062, which means he is born
this year.
I just want to say this as a
I did see that.
I just want to say this. I completely understand where a lot of people would not want to go back 100 years. Okay. Very white.
Oh yeah.
Any of our black listeners out there?
Well, yeah. But then again, you know what you know now.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't think that would help.
It was a really bad time for them.
Yeah, no.
It'd be much easier to go back 100 years as a white guy than it would be to go back as a black guy.
I would kind of be scared shitless to go forward 100 years.
Yeah, at this point.
What if you choose to go forward 100 years and there's nothing there?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very realistic possibility. You're just like standing out there. Kind of be depressing.
Like, FDR, what's up?
All right.
Dude, you could position yourself to make a lot of money.
Oh yeah. Time machine's a great idea if somebody can figure it the fuck out. Okay. Would you rather always have all of your shirts one size too small or two sizes too big?
I hate when shirts feel too tight.
Yeah, I would go too big all day. I don't care.
Ugh. That's like too big.
Yep.
2 sizes?
Mm-hmm.
Don't care. Well, I would rather go that way because, like you said, too tight is terrible.
It is.
Even if I lose weight, they're still going to be too small. Like, because it's always
maybe, like, stretch it out.
Didn't you word it as it's always one size too small?
Always one size too small or two sizes too big.
Yeah.
So if you lose weight, your shirt size is going down.
So like if I should be wearing an XL, I'm still wearing a large.
You're wearing a large. Yep. Like think about that. If you wear a size medium, that means you're always walking around in an extra large shirt. But if you wear an extra large, you're always walking around in a large shirt.
So I'm wearing a 4X now. I'm good. That's fine.
Or you're wearing an XL.
Nah, I'm wearing 4X and being done.
Okay.
Yeah, tight.
I'm not wearing Under Armour all day. Because that's what it would be. That's what it would be.
There's some clothes that are not meant for dad bods.
True.
Tight clothes is not one of them.
No.
That's why they make special shirts on TikTok.
That's a scam. I got those.
That's a different segment. Let's save that for next week.
Mark that.
Would you rather flip a coin for a chance at $10 million, but if you got it wrong, you get nothing, or get $1 million instantly for doing nothing.
So wait, it's 10 million or nothing,
Just
or
one
$1
and
million?
done?
Mm-hmm.
$1 million all day.
Yeah, I mean that seems safe, but that's it. Just $1 million.
You get $1 million instantly for doing nothing, or you can flip this coin here. If you get it right, you get $10 million. If you get it wrong, nada.
$1 million really isn't a lot of money, but I could pay off a lot of shit with $1 million.
And then if you were smart, you could take $500,000 and invest it, and take the other half and pay off a bunch of shit.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
probably
I'm
get
taking
back
$1
to
million.
get back to the million relatively quickly.
Oh yeah,
Cash.
with the way investments are, yeah.
Just throw it in crypto.
Cash and money talks.
All right. Would you rather have a face that everyone laughs at, or a name that everyone laughs at? And I'm talking everyone. I'm going
Name.
I'm going name
I'm going name
because
I didn't pick it.
Yeah.
well, I'm going
And
name
not
because
everybody
not
know
everybody
your
knows it.
Yeah, well,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Face everybody sees.
Yeah, and you would have to laugh at yourself because you look in a mirror.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Just crack yourself up like you're high.
All right. Would you rather have a pause button in your life or a rewind button?
So wait, hold on. So basically, I can Saved by the Bell like real life. I can just go like pause, and I can like talk, think, assess the whole situation, and then unpause.
Yes, you can Zach Morris situations.
Done all day.
Or you can rewind things and change the events that happened.
Pause.
I mean, pause would be cool. Think about it in like, let's just say like sports. Like, can you do like, is it like the movie Click?
You get one or the other.
But that's what I mean, because you could like pause and say like reposition people.
Mhm.
You can make a lot of money that way.
Changing the outcomes of fights.
Yeah.
I'm saying
mean-
pause. I'm saying pause all day.
Pause seems, yeah.
Like rewind just
like,
means I
I'm-
can watch it again, like, or I can experience it again. Like I would
Well,
pause.
you do whatever it is that you thought you wanted to do differently. You can do it again. I think of it both ways. I'm thinking of it from a rewind perspective, like, oh, Apple is now worth $12 trillion. Let's invest in it whenever it was $4. You could rewind to that point and do that.
So is there a limit to that, or like do I have to do everything else? Like say that point of my life was junior year of high school. Do I now have to refinish high school and do college? Like, do I have to experience everything?
I don't know.
Guess you're rewinding to a certain spot.
Well, because like at that point, I'll just let me go rewind now back to freshman year of college, and let's just do college again. Just because I feel like it. Like I could be forever.
I mean, is it the same outcome, or is it like, whatever you do
Affects
could
everything.
test it? Yeah.
I would imagine it's that, like, whenever you rewind, if whatever you do can affect the outcome.
Because if I could rewind, like you said, and like go back to school and not change any of the outcome, I mean, that'd be pretty fucking fun to do school all over again.
Well, yeah. But like, I still want now. Like, I
Right.
want it to end here, but
I want the same
that's why I
outcome.
think pause.
Maybe
I think
maybe a
pause.
few better grades here and there,
Well,
but
I agree with you guys. I think the pause button is the way to go.
yeah.
Like you could be
degrees.
you could be at a boxing match and just bring down those hands a little bit.
Yeah, or a horse race.
Yeah. Cut off some horses' legs.
All of
Oh,
a sudden,
man.
they just tumble.
I feel like we're getting into like a segment where we need to say, if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We are not sponsored by them. All right, two more for tonight.
Okay.
Would you rather be able to eat anything you want and have the perfect nutrition? So you can literally eat anything. You can eat cake all day and you will have perfect nutrition. Or sleep 1 hour a day and be fully rested.
I'm going to say food.
Yeah,
I'm going to say food.
I like food.
Because food's my weakness to
100%.
start. Food's my weakness to start with. So
'Cause it
that's
could be
that's what I
anything. It
need.
doesn't even matter.
Anything. I'm 100% going food because I actually enjoy sleep. I enjoy nighttime. I enjoy watching television before going to sleep.
It's exactly what we're going
That's
to do
what
as
puts
soon
me
as
to
we're
sleep.
done.
Yeah, like you can eat
Sorry.
anything. Bro, I'd eat McDonald's again. I haven't eaten McDonald's in forever.
Speaking of
Your
sleep,
dog's asleep.
oh, she is passed out. She had way too much fun at the kennel.
Yeah, because I mean, like now, like I was thinking tonight, like we got Chipotle because Gemma had dance,
Oh.
it's the three of us, and we're like, let's just do something quick. But then tomorrow, I'm like, we want to dye more Easter eggs. So it's like, well, I was just gonna get pizza. It's like, do I want Chipotle and pizza? At that point, it don't fucking matter.
Right?
Yep.
You can have whatever you want. Food.
Food.
All right. And the last one for this evening so we can all go to bed. Would you rather fight your dad in his prime or fight 200 fourth graders?
How old's fourth grade?
10.
At once?
Do I get in trouble for hitting
Like
fourth
one,
graders?
well, like one at a time. Like one comes at you, you got to fight him, and the next one comes.
I'm gonna take the fourth graders just because my dad would kick my ass. My dad was military trained. There ain't no way. He would literally kick my ass.
I feel like I'm gonna go with my dad because that's one fight. And fourth graders are fourth graders, but that's 200 fights.
I'm still fighting the fourth graders.
Yeah, fourth graders all day.
My dad terrifies me.
Like,
I agree.
Still, to this day, he'd kill me.
fourth graders are scrappy, man.
Yeah, they wouldn't be scrappy enough to beat me. My dad would lay me the fuck out with one punch.
I mean,
And we're talking dad in prime.
yeah, I
Then
would
you're
say
done.
my dad's 71 now. I could probably take him now, but in his prime, there is no way.
My dad's about to turn 57, and I still wouldn't fight him.
No, I wouldn't fight your dad. Your dad would kick my ass. 100% your dad would kick my ass.
I'm fairly confident my dad would kick a lot of people's ass.
Tim, if you're listening, yes, I said that. But no,
thinking of
even
all the
if me
fourth
and my
graders that
dad
I
were
know.
both, let's say me in my best shape was probably around 25. My dad probably around the same, maybe 30 because it was, after a little bit more military. He would absolutely kick my ass. If both of us were in our prime, he would kick my ass.
I'm going with one and done.
You're a better man than me.
Yeah.
One and done. Because think about it. You know a lot of fourth graders? Some
They're
of
like
them
a
that I
year.
know
They're like a
some of
year
them that I
younger than
know.
my kid.
are a-holes.
Yeah, it makes beating them that much easier.
No.
I'd be kicking. I'd be throwing like chin kicks because they're stupid. They're just gonna run at you. Like I'm just picturing like 200 kids like in a row, like running at you. Like as soon as one gets knocked down, it's like the Royal Rumble. They come running down the ramp. As soon as they get in the ring, they get sweet chin music and they're done.
Could you throw 200 chin kicks in a row?
Well, no, but I could switch legs. I could use my arms. I could just chuck them out of the ring.
Could you switch legs?
Yeah, it's actually one of the few things that I can kick you in the chin.
See, these are the variables we got to think about here.
We need to test this in the summer. We need to have him throw a chin kick. Gavin has a tackling gummy in the basement. We're gonna do that.
And then switch legs.
Dude, I can easily kick up to somebody's chin.
I'm still fighting the fourth graders. Listen, I don't give a shit. My dad would annihilate me.
Not to mention, fourth graders are shorter than you, Seth.
No matter how, you could say fight my dad now, and I'd still pick the fourth. I'd pick 10th graders. I don't give a shit.
I don't know if I'd go that
graders.
I'd fight 200 of them. I'm fighting him. Are you fucking nuts?
200 10th graders or your dad? I'd probably go with your dad so I could just get knocked out once.
If there's any sophomores in high school out there listening, and you want to put together a fundraiser, I mean,
Let's go.
Gladly.
I'll box.
Yeah.
I just don't think that you can get away with it unless they've like failed a couple years and are 18. I can't fight a minor.
I'm sure we could sign waivers and get around it.
Can you do that?
Probably.
I don't know.
Let's talk to a lawyer.
I guess there would be. My wife's a
some
lawyer.
lawyers,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
Just talk to her. Figure it out.
Wait till I go upstairs and say, "Hey, honey, what are the odds or what are the chances of us being able to have a fundraiser where I fight 10th graders? Like, can we sign a waiver and they be allowed to fight me? Or would I have to sign the waiver? Like when you get knocked the fuck out by this guy."
You always got to look at it like the OJ factor. If that dude could get away with what he did, why can't you fight sophomores?
Well, I can tell you one reason. One of those reasons is that guy had unlimited amounts of money to pay for the greatest defense team ever.
Oh God, I'm laughing so hard I'm crying.
I don't have that. Not to fight 10th graders.
Jesus.
I mean, listen, I'm all about fundraising and,
we'll do it for the kids.
Doing it for the kids. However,
maybe we won't call it. Maybe we like they do in The Office. It won't be fundraising. It'll be fun raising.
Fundraising.
We're just gonna raise fun.
Oh, it would be fun. But like, this is the thing.
Can we
right?
do it
So
at
there's-
Hershey Med? Like that way, when either you or they get knocked out, you're right there. Let's just do it in the parking lot.
I mean, listen, I would have a chance.
Stadium.
I would have a
Time at
chance.
State championship games.
I would have a
Cold.
chance against, I would say, at least 50% of them. At least
So
50%.
So hold on. So if
Because
we were
we're
doing
talking about just like a wide array of kids, right? There's no
Yeah.
there's no algorithm to it. It's just random, right? That is the algorithm. It's random. So like random 10th graders.
So it's just 80. So to keep the ratio the same, it would be 80 10th graders. We're going to do 200 fourth graders, 200 times 4, and then
Yeah.
divided by 10. So 80
So
10th
you think-
graders.
So you think I can take at least 50 of them? I mean, listen, there are some kids that are massive.
Well, can we figure out which clubs we're inviting to do this? Because, you might have a better chance against like the AV club than like the football team.
No, it's all random. That's what I'm saying. I don't give a shit. It's all random
So we just need
if
80
you were-
random high school students.
that are in 10th
Yeah.
grade.
Knocked
Okay.
out by a 10th
If
grader.
I get knocked out, I'm planning on it. That's what I'm saying. Like, how many do I get through until it happens?
Do we get Joe
And
Rogan to
everybody-
sponsor this?
Like, what I would say, my recommendation would be to go from smallest to largest. Right? We get the random 80 people, random 80 10th graders, right? And we line them all up from smallest to largest. I'm fighting the littlest ones first, to get them the fuck out of the way. And then I'll eventually get knocked out. How many do I get through?
We'll set the over under at 25.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go with the gambling thing again.
You know what? This could be the next Rough and Rowdy.
Joe Rogan, if you're out there,
Listen,
we have an idea.
I've never turned down a fight in my life.
Jesus.
I would do it. I don't give a shit.
What's going to happen is
If anybody is listening to this in the future,
It thinks this is
yeah,
a good
100 years
idea.
from now.
well, 100 years from now, I'm going to be way fucking dead. Way dead. I can't fight you. If you're listening to this in 21, 22, I'm fucking dead. So don't send your 10th grader to try to find me. But if you're listening to this in 5 years, I'm still under 40. I hope to still be in a somewhat decent shape that I could probably kick your 10th grader's ass. Actually, you know what? This would be actually a good thing, right? Let's turn this into a positive. How many parents want to kick the shit out of their kid, but for fear of being labeled as an abusive parent, don't want to do it? Well, let's sign this little waiver here. And
The three dumb dads are at your service.
34-year-old white guy is willing to do it, or at least attempt to do it for you. Now, if your kid's a fucking monster and is going to be, like, you know, on their way to the NFL soon, don't sign him up. I don't want any parts of it. If your kid's a nerd and likes playing with RC airplanes, sign him up. It eases my responsibilities and the amount of effort that I'm going to have to exert.
See, that's another thing you got to think of. You could be gassed by like the fourth one.
Well, I'm training. It's not like we're going to go outside tomorrow and do it. I'm going to train. I'm 100% training.
Is this how we're kicking off season 3?
Fucking do it. I don't care.
Season
Find me somebody to
3
fight. I'll fight anybody.
live from ringside.
Listen, it doesn't even have to be a 10th grader. It can be an adult.
Like your dad.
No, I'm not. I'll fight anybody other than my dad. I fucking might fight Mike Tyson before I fight my
Mike
dad.
Tyson knock me out for a couple mil.
Just leave those headphones on. You'll be fine.
I'd fucking do it just to say I got knocked out by Mike Tyson.
That could be brain damage.
Not one punch. Come on, man.
That's all it takes.
It's one punch. My dad could give me fucking brain damage in half a second.
And imagine Mike Tyson.
Yeah, my dad's a nobody. No offense, Dad. But seriously, my dad's a nobody. Like, seriously. I'm like, oh, my dad knocked me out. Yeah, oh, yeah, well, Mike Tyson knocked me out. You'd be fucking cool as shit. How many people can say that? Vander Holyfield?
No, he didn't get knocked out by him.
What?
Buster Douglas? What?
Buster Douglas beat
Evander
Mike
Holyfield.
Tyson.
What?
I don't fucking know. I was just throwing names out there.
Isn't that who he bit the ear of?
Is that who we bet the euro?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
All
I thought
right.
someone was yelling to you.
What about
Anywho,
Brock Lesnar?
With that,
Brock Lesnar? Yeah, I'd probably take him.
Yeah, are we talking like 4-ounce gloves or like boxing gloves?
I'd prefer boxing gloves. I don't want fucking 4-ounce gloves. Are you insane?
It's like bare knuckles.
Exactly. I'm not interested in that. I mean, I'd do it, but I don't want to.
all right, guys.
This is a very, very deep rabbit hole.
This is bringing us to the end of the evening. So, thank you guys for hanging out. Episode 25 next week on Thursday. Don't forget, we're doing back-to-back weeks to make up for the missed time.
If anybody wants to fight, reach out via DMs.
Yeah, DM Seth if you would like to fight, or sign your child up to fight, because Seth is going to fight children.